Welcome to Leadership to Go. My name is Pari Namazie. I am an executive and leadership coach and the managing partner at UNEPA. Join me as I explore leadership insights from all walks of life. A very warm welcome to you, Ramona Bordea. And it's so wonderful to welcome you to our first episode of Leadership to Go in 2026. And it's really lovely to have you here with your Christmas tree still up in the background. So it's very early in the year. Welcome, Ramona.
Thank you, Pari.
And just a little on Ramona's background. So I met you, Ramona, in our wonderful Cosmopolitan Table event in November last year. And you did this wonderful presentation for us all about using AI agents in our work. And here you are talking to this, group of, 20, 30, 40 women. And it was so fascinating. And you just jumped in and gave us a live demo of how this works. And so Ramona and I connected, and I'm so happy that you accepted the invitation to join this interview on Leadership to Go. Your own background, you have always been in computer programming and developer. You've been a developer, software developer. You have worked 18 years in different companies, starting from Romania and now based in Austria. And now you have your own startup in the field of artificial intelligence called Averis AI. So really very impressive and a very, very warm welcome to you, Ramona.
Thank you.
I think I'd love to start with the question of, we struggle. So I'm a, gosh, I don't know exactly. I think I'm Generation X or something like that. Am I X? So I'm 58 years old, and AI, I can still, I'm not scared of AI, but I'm sure I will not use it to the best way possible. So I have in my team a whole load of Gen Zs and millennials who are supporting me on this journey. But how do you see the world of AI? This is your work, and you're like at the forefront of it right now. How do you see this emerging and developing in our world?
I think we are going through a change, and last year I think was the most transformational. It's the same change as appeared when the internet came into the market, and I'm keep saying that AI is here to stay. It's not just a phase. The world, it will be just different with AI. I think what is important is to understand what is really AI and where are the capabilities and what can we do as human to build this AI in a responsible way, but also to use it in a responsible way. I think this is very, very important. I also believe that the people that are not progressing with this AI knowledge, they are not staying still, they are just falling backward because the world is going forward. And I would say that's a moment of awareness where we are, what's going to happen in the future, and what can we do in this very moment to prepare for the future.
Yeah, I love that. And thank you for using that, the example of at the age of internet. I remember that very well when internet came and we're all like really curious about, so what is this? And it transformed our lives. And I mean, one of the biggest transformations, I always think now I can't find a location without my phone, without Google Maps or Waze and I think AI will be that similarly. It'll give us it'll be so much more once again at our fingertips how we use it. But maybe before I jump into your story, maybe for the generation like me and even older than me who I think are quite afraid of using AI and afraid of what this means. And I think it's also the ethical component, the moral component, the spiritual component, the emotional component of AI. What kind of advice might you give them?
I would advise to stay informed and try to either read what is being said out there, and if possible, test it. There, like AI, it's from very simple to very difficult, right? But when we are talking about the tools, the AI tools, they are tools, right?
Mm,
They are tools that need to be used. And I think people shouldn't be afraid to use these tools. Just to read about them. They're like really, it's an advancement and help people to do their work faster and better and easier. And my recommendation is just, try to remain informed, either through reading,
mm,
listening podcast, going maybe to a workshop,
mm.
hands-on, like
Yeah,
really hands-on, as much as possible.
yeah. No, that's good. It's not closing that door. It's not having a closed mindset. Be open to see. And I think it's always, one of the words you're using is stay informed. It's see how you can integrate it. It doesn't have to be everything. I mean, I know I get so bombarded by so much AI in all these different channels. And it's learning what do you need to take from it. It's not everything, but it's take what makes sense to you and use it that way. I
Exactly.
think that's important. Tell us a little bit about why you, after 18 years of, this whole your own career development, why did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Um,
That's a big
I
shift.
tested, it
Yeah.
is, and it was a conscious decision. I tested the employee life. I started many years ago, of course, as an employee. I went into management. I went up into top management positions. And it was a great journey. Um, but life gave me this opportunity. Um, and basically, what happened after I graduated the Vienna Executive Academy, my MBA, and I have written my master thesis in this domain of agentic AI, assessing skills and how reliable they are. Um, and everything, um, it was like a coincidence that in the same time that I was finishing my master thesis, I was having a discussion with my neighbor. She's 58 and she was very sad because she was fired from a company where she worked for more than 10 years, and she had 2 more years until the pension. And she was unable to find a job and she felt humiliated. Um, and
Such a long career. I can imagine,
yes, after so many years
Mm,
working for companies, you know, and you're out there and you have 2 more years and you see no opportunities because nobody hires you for 1 year, right?
mm,
And I had this opportunity to start this startup. And I said, okay, I'm going to take it. I will take myself 1 year and do everything that I can to move things forward. And I did. I created a proof of concept. I validated with huge leaders, HR leaders from Austrian market, and everyone confirmed that the idea is really good, and I have to invest my effort into this. And then I found 3 other co-founders, 3 other people that liked the idea, support the idea. They also, I think that they also came from a similar background as I did, working for their entire lives in corporations, and wanted to start something that is also their own and they can actually influence. and have this opportunity to drive something and as you are, and that serve your values and principles. Because in enterprise, even if you are in a top management position and you have decision power, there are still limitations, and they are not your values, they are not your principle. You have to align with the company direction. That's it. But when you start a startup, it can be based on whatever you feel it has to be. And for me, was fairness. Because what we do in Averis is AI agents that conduct screening interviews. And this came from this feeling of providing equal chances. And that's a problem in Austria. And I think in many other countries, right, where you have the expats um, applying for the same job as other people, and they are rejected because I don't know, they are missing some keywords or from their CV, or maybe they don't know the language, even if they are more qualified, right? And they don't even have the chance to prove their knowledge, to prove their skills, right? Because they are rejected by these ATSs. And that's how I started it. So it was the moment, the fear, because it was a fear. I felt the fear when I was talking to my neighbor. So it was the opportunity, the moment, the knowledge, the fear, and the values. And it
Yeah.
was such a combination.
Yeah. Lovely how you brought all of that together, um, with the fear. So there was an emotion driving you.
Yes,
It was
yes.
also values that was driving you, and also just that you have that expertise and that knowledge, and why not put all of this together? And what you were also saying about um, that leap, that leap of faith, Ramona, that coming from a secure job. I know, lovely how you said that in an organization, no matter how high you get, you're not always going to be able to drive strategy and
Yes.
change. You can execute it and implement it. And sometimes it might go against your values. And I've worked with so many leaders who really do not believe in the values of what they're seeing in their organization at the very top. And so there's
Exactly.
this area that you have to reconcile yourself, your values with that it sometimes it's against your values. And so that leap that you took, that leap of faith that I can do it, that's courage.
It is courage, but it was, I took the time to myself, and I had the trust that things will go well. And I also had the safety net. And this is also important. Like having this safety net, having the money to pay the rent and the food. This is also important. I had that before doing this step. Um, and for me, as I said, it was this moment and this thinking, if I'm not doing it now, I
Mm,
will never do it.
mm,
Because it's a certain moment for everyone, right? Maybe for someone can happen in their 20s, 30s. It might happen at 40s, right? And it was mm, this feeling that if I'm not doing it right now, I will never do it.
mm,
It
mm,
it was also this feeling, this gut, I could say it.
mm. Yeah, I like that, the gut feeling. Still a really big leap of faith. Since you started, I mean, there's so many lessons in this. And I know when you and I were talking, you said, as an entrepreneur, as an employee and as a manager, you learn things. Um, as an entrepreneur, you learn maybe at an even faster, crazier pace.
10
Can you,
times more.
yeah, can you tell me a little bit about what were the learnings as an employee in your career, what shaped you, and then how is it different as an entrepreneur?
As an employee, um, in an enterprise, because I have mainly working in big corporation, um, you have project, you have limited responsibility, you just have to do the task and everything will be fine. Now, the more you grow in the organization, of course, you have multiple responsibilities, of course, leading multiple people, and then, of course, your responsibility and your accountability and ownership itself grows, right? But it's never everything pending on your shoulders. You have the team, you have the group, you're part of something bigger. And you're forced to give explanations somehow to someone, right? It's not all on you. As an entrepreneur, if you do it, you succeed. If you don't, it's not going to happen. If you don't put in the effort, or if you don't send the email, or if you don't create the presentation, if you don't create the P&L, nobody else is going to do it for you. And all the responsibility is on your shoulders. And if you don't know how to do something, you're not calling the manager and say, I need the training. No, no. Either you book the training, if you have the money, you book the training. If you don't have the money, you have to learn it somehow on your own or ask a friend. You need to find ways to think differently. And you're not doing just your task as, I don't know, product manager. You're doing the team management, you're doing the financials, you're doing the roadmap, you're writing the code, you're doing everything, you're managing the teams, you motivate the team, you discuss with investors, you do everything. And of course, this comes with lessons and shapes you. And also, when we talk about time, the time investment, as an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter if it's Saturday or Sunday, you just work because you have to finish and nobody else, there's not another colleague to do it for you, right? It's 5 o'clock, I just don't close my laptop and go away. No, I continue until I finish. It's harder, but since I am an entrepreneur, I feel I didn't work a day, because everything that I do comes with passion and it doesn't feel like working. And sometimes my husband says, it's 9 p.m., you should close the laptop. And I say, oh God, it's 9, I have not noticed it, right? And that's the idea. When you do something that you like and you're driven by your values, it doesn't really feel like work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful that you say that since you're an entrepreneur, you haven't worked a day because it's driven by passion. It's what you love. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's really nice to hear that. Um, Ramona, we're starting the year and this is the beginning of 2026. And I'd love to hear a little bit about what is your dream for yourself?
Very good question, Pari, because it's safety. It's safety. It's one of the basics feeling, right, in the Maslow pyramid. It's safety. As an entrepreneur, you don't have the safety net. You don't know if you will receive a paycheck at the end of every month. It depends on you, right? And it's sometimes it's hard to manage this feeling when you have responsibilities and when you have kids. When you're on yourself, it's easier, but when you have kids, it's differently. And yeah, I have not thought about it, but now that you ask me and I'm spontaneously responding, I would want to have the safety and to continue with the motivation to make Averis a success.
Mm.
And sometimes that's also a challenge, right?
Mm.
I'm not waking every morning with motivation, of course not. But for me, failing is an option, but giving up, it's never an option.
Mm.
So for me, giving up, it's never an option, no matter how much I fail. I have two kids. I'm responsible for these kids, and I have to be good no matter what.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's a lovely failing. We learn through failure, but giving up, it's I might talk to you later about giving up and failing because sometimes it's always at what cost. And I'm not saying, to
yeah,
give up, but sometimes it's at what cost? And when do we need to make that decision? Because I do see a lot of people who have reached burnout and your health, your well-being, the well-being of your family. I know that's always the priorities. Um, but I'm just saying this to see what is it that be aware of what are the points that you also need to focus on. And I know you and I had a chat about this before, where we said, the entrepreneurial journey takes its toll on you. It takes its toll on your whole family. And without you knowing, the 9 p.m.s and the 10 p.m.s, and it almost becomes a habit. And so, how are you looking after your health and well-being? And you and I had a chat about that earlier. And I know that this is a priority for you.
it
But
is.
one thing you did mention to me is right, earlier was that there are challenges, and sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself and wake up motivated. How do you manage that?
Um, I I have this. It's mindset, of course. Definitely, it's mindset, and it became part of who I am. Um, I believe that even if sometimes it's hard, um, there will always come something better.
Mm,
And this is life, right? We have good days and bad days.
mm,
Uh, but something good is on the corner. I know that and I feel that, and I just take the things that they are.
yeah.
And to be honest, Pari, I feel grateful for everything that I have. For my kids, they are healthy. I have a great husband. We have a great family. And as long as we are healthy, we can make it. And
Mm,
um, in the bad days, like in the days where maybe I feel more tired, I just with gratitude for what I have and set up a goal on the day, something that makes me happy, and I just wake up and do it. And then I achieve more than usually I set it up for myself. But I think it's good to be aware of that, and that's something normal,
yeah.
regardless if you are an
Mm,
entrepreneur or an employee, or it's
yeah.
always like that. It's
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
and a life with oscillations is
Yeah.
better than a flat line.
Yeah. Mhm. And it's absolutely right. That is our day to day. It's how do we motivate ourselves? How do we pick up? How do we stop procrastinating? How do we take the challenge? And there are always days where our energy is going to be low, and it's finding what works for you, for each individual, and trying different things. Ramona, give us an example of a bad day. Because I think, people need to understand what are some of the challenges that you might face. What are those days that you really feel done?
Yeah, so If, for example, we have a problem in the team, or if sometimes it's too much and my energy level is too low, or if there are so many tasks that I have to do and I don't want or like to do them, that's a bad day, right? I have no motivation to get out of bed because in bed is so much better than the other things that I have to do afterwards, right? And one thing about me, Pari, is I never procrastinate. I just prioritize. So, of course, I have limited energy, limited time, but I have to prioritize. I don't procrastinate. I make a list and I prioritize. I do the things that I have to do, even if I don't like them,
Mm,
right? And I think this is important
mm,
because this brought me here.
mm,
Um, I believe that I believe this energy frequency, the vibration, and in the moment we manage to switch vibration and like even if we are tired and we don't want to get out of bed, we switch vibration by finding a great things that you can do today and brings you joy. It helps you to go
yeah,
there.
yeah, I love that. And I know we've talked about energy and vibration and the frequencies and also I think part of what you believe in is that the universe is
Yes.
looking after us. And I love that attitude, you know. Yeah. So maybe on closing, I'd love just a few words from you on people who might think about entering this field of entrepreneurship. What advice would you give them? What kind of mindset and skill set do they need to become an entrepreneur?
So definitely when it comes to mindset, it's growth. And growth mindset, it's really important, is thinking that I don't know everything, but I can learn it. It's just a matter of time. I think it's important to start the journey in a field where they have expertise.
Mm,
It's very difficult to rely on others.
mm,
So I think this is the key and the most important thing. Find a journey where you already have some experience and expertise, and then find other people to complete your expertise. And another thing is awareness that things can go wrong,
mm,
um, and it implies a lot of effort and prepare with that mindset. Okay, it's a challenge, but somehow
mm,
I will overcome it.
mm.
Something will happen and I will overcome it. And then things align.
Yeah.
And another advice would be um, have this um, safety net. What if I don't manage to be successful in 6 months or 1 year? Would I still be able to sustain my
Mm,
lifestyle? Plan in advance.
mm,
From a financial perspective, plan in advance because entrepreneurship comes with many investments. It's time, it's energy, it's money most of the time.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
make sure that you really want to invest in that.
Yeah. Ramona, lovely, really lovely tips, lovely advice, and just such great nuggets of wisdom that you shared. It's been such a pleasure hearing
Thank you,
you,
Pari.
learning about your journey, and I would love to share with our audience Averis AI, so just that they get to know your work and hopefully, come and visit your website and maybe their needs over there. that I'm sure people would appreciate and learn from. And thank you for your openness, for your humility, and we wish you every success moving forward in
Thank you, Pari.
2026 and beyond. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Likewise.